Hi, my name's Anne Kelly. I'm an artist, author, and tutor based in Kent, in the UK. I've written 3 books, solo books for Batsford, and 1 joint book. My latest book was called Textile Travels, and it came out in the summer this year. And it's been reprinted, so people seem to be enjoying it, which is great. Today, I thought I'd speak to you a little bit about this piece behind me, which is called Maud's House. And it's based on an actual house in the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia in Halifax in Canada. And it was a hand-painted and decorated house by a very famous folk artist called Maud Lewis, who lived in the early 20th century. There was a film made about her with Ethan Hawke and Sally Hawkins called Maudie, which some of you might see. And it was a joy to make this piece because I was able to do it from sketches that I'd made at the gallery and to use an old vintage tablecloth as the top. I've added hand stitching, machine embroidery, printing, block printing, and more applique to give it several layers, as you can see. It was a really fun project, and it was included in the Embroiderers Guild exhibition Home, which toured a couple of venues in the UK. It was also first shown at Compton Verney in Warwickshire at their textile fair, where I was an invited artist in 2018. The piece has several components. It's got hand-printed birds and stitched butterflies and flowers, as you can see just down here. It also has flowers which were originally on the piece, but I've also added some pieces in just to make it a little bit more interesting and complex. The reason these little pieces are important is because every country and culture in the world has a tradition of folk art, and it's really striking how similar their motifs are. Trees, birds, hearts and flowers, and houses are recurring themes. I like to do this research for my book on textile folk art, and also to look at the theme of home and childhood, because it's quite evocative. I think at the moment, because we're in lockdown, houses have a special significance for us. We're more inclined to look at the closer details and spend more time in them. And I think it's been the inspiration for lots of artwork by different artists during this time. What was really wonderful about exhibiting this piece for the first time at Compton Verney is that they have the National Collection of Folk Art. And it was recently curated by Mark Hurld, whose work is lovely too. Lots of collages and bright colours. This book really on folk art really tries to look at everyday objects as well, because those are things that we overlook and things that are important for everyday life. And it's good to see how we can combine creativity with the everyday when our horizons are cut short a little bit with travel. But hopefully as we open up again after lockdown, we'll be able to travel again and see some real things and be inspired by real things. So in my new book, I've tried to look at ways that memories, but also real events when you're traveling can inspire your work, and how it's not just a question of bringing back a souvenir, but it's also a way of creating new work based on things that you've seen and places that you've been. So good luck to everybody with the coming year. And thank you to Charlotte for the interview. And thank you for listening.